beautiful, spectacular that we have here in Saldanah Bay. So Marco Alberts is the captain of the Raiders team, and they'll be playing into the wind in the first half. But there's quite a lot of support here based on the vocal crowd for this team from Uitenhage. They're quite an aging team, I might add as well. And Dili Mart is 40 years of age, one of the players in the team. And Ryan Willifant will captain this team. He's one of the younger men, schooled at Daniel Pienaar in Uitenhage. The school has produced a fair number of Springboks. So there we are. That's the Raiders team then. Watch out for John Kubeka at number 12. He's got a very educated boot and a quality player too. The Raiders do like to move the ball around too. So they've made a couple of changes in their team, but some of them enforced too because of injury, which is always the real hazard, one assumes too, with tournaments of this nature with so many games being played. And the Gardens team, captained by Ryan Willifant there. Then, as I mentioned, there's quite a few players that are bridging the 40-year age gap. So wonderful to see that they still play in rugby. And they've had a very tight game. They lost 14-11 against Saldanah, but that didn't really matter. They won the other one. Haybury Philander is our referee for today's match.
Yeah, my ball.
And we're just waiting for the go-ahead here. And the kickoff then from Burton Bowman. Are we going to see a running game here too? As we saw with that very first one, 74 points were scored in the previous match. Raiders captain is Marcel Alberts, who's played a lot of sevens rugby too, so he likes to move the ball around, solid from the base of the scrum. And a good start that from Raiders. The referee says play on, so yeah, they come then. Good strong running there from Kanyan Kusane, former Paul Boys High School boy.
Advantage, knock on advantage.
I like this again from the referee. Just playing advantage.
Even wide.
Despite the fact that there was a knock on the Gardens. Kick over the top of Marvin Comfort. There's a great recovery too, one's got to say, from Adrian Carl. But it's going to be a penalty to Gardens, and they've got the first bite of the cherry here. What do? Warren Brosnian, who's come upstairs here to join me in commentary. Do they look for the corner? A little kick to the corner. There's a bit of a breeze out there, isn't there?
There's a stiff breeze. They're starting to pick up and get stronger and stronger. They're going to pump it in the corner. They're going to try to develop some momentum for this Gardens team all the way from Uitenhage. They beat Veldrift 53 points to 17. Lost to Saldanah, did Gardens, up against this Raiders outfit from Johannesburg.
A club that was formed in 1932, so they really have been around. Got the line out to perfection there with a throw in, and they're set. Can they find the motion that they've been looking for that first try of the game? Is it going to be forthcoming? They held up just short. Comfort looks for the big boys to drive it up towards that try line, just a couple of meters short. The Raiders up to the task defensively thus far. Can they continue that? It's a long pass and then a little change of direction.
Step.
When you get into the red zone down here, you want to strike as best as you can. Oldest man on the field there, and Dili Mart taking it in, 40 years of age. But they've now got the try, and it was a question of time too. So they've got their support that have come down from Uitenhage. So many people that have been bussed down here and enjoying things. And Sestu Khans, who's Also not a youngster, at 36 years of age, gets the first try.
It's that reverse marker, so there's no defense on that reverse marker. All the players from the Raiders had folded over onto the far side, and pillar one was open. It was spotted by Sasetu Khans, educated at Uitenhage High, a local boy from Uitenhage, in for the first try in this plate final.
This is Lawabo Mayedwa with the conversion. Oh dear, he's hit the upright. Not a difficult kick. They'll be a bit disappointed with that, but certainly pleased with their start.
Mayedwa would certainly have expected to get that. There was some good defense from the Raiders. They just didn't fill that channel. The player left the marker one position a little bit too early, left a gap for this man, Sasetu Khans. Lots of energy in that opening.
Nice hanging kick from John Kubeka.
Oh, the green step.
Alberts. And the Raiders, can they find a method of replying to that try scored against them right now? Zona at fly half, then taken up by Mhlaba.
Step. Advantage, penalty advantage.
Well, they got an advantage, so they've decided let's kick it downfield. Well, they're going to get the penalty, so they'll come back for it. And also now it's time for the Raiders to make their decision. What do we do with this penalty?
Into the wind.
Offside.
Bang in front of the uprights. Decision time for their captain, Marco Alberts, the very experienced Marco Alberts. John Kubeka has indicated that he's going to take a shot at goal. Players just getting in the offside position, called out by referee Adrian Philander.
What an unusual decision to kick at goal. Most of them don't do that, and the wind might be a part of the one of the factors. It's a factor, yeah. But John Kubeka probably has the most educated boot here at this tournament. We've seen how well he's kicked.
He's got a history of being at this tournament before, having played here with the Raiders previously. John Kubeka.
So he knows a little bit about the wind and how to cater for it. Solid technique. First points then to the Raiders.
There's a reason he's known as John the Boot Kubeka. Big solid inside centre. 30-year-old, weighing in at 95 kgs.
It's amazing how many 30-plus-year-olds there are in this particular game. It's nearly, probably just over a third of all the players. So it's good to see that these guys are still able to stay in shape and play this game.
In Kosana, beautiful run.
Quickly out from Alberts. And now they've found a little bit of space. And enough pace as well on that occasion from Seginkwi.
Step.
Zona. Behind the advantage line on this occasion by the Raiders. And it's Gardens who've won the penalty. Some good efforts there at the breakdown point.
Yeah, it's one of the things that Raiders do really well. They compete on the ground, make a competition for that ball. We saw Pedro Barnes, their hooker, heavily involved at that breakdown point.
So Mayedwa's kick hasn't gone a massive distance, but they'll also have in their minds the fact that they're playing with the wind and they want to try and make use of that to get as many points as they can.
Now Barnes, the man that went straight in to win that penalty for his team.
Same
Maybe
man.
the man, yeah, feeding the line out.
Yep, same man feeding the line out. Pedro Barnes. Well, the line out works off the back. I'm not sure that was the target man, but still doesn't matter. Kundai taking it in. Oh, that's a neat little grubber that now. Well, the bounce was favourable for the Raiders team. Now the pickup from captain Ryan Oliphant. Comfort waiting for it, can't come out, so they have a penalty advantage here. And he's happy just to milk the penalty.
Yeah, Marvin Comfort, no ambiguity there. He wants the penalty. They want to get field position. I love the little chip by Pinte Tame, the loose head prop for Gardens, putting the little rolling kick through.
Yeah, it was well executed. So what does Mayedwa do here? Well, he's going to kick it goal. He knows he's got the wind at his back. This is the plate final, so there's a lot to play for here, and you know, this is a big game between a team from the north and a team from the south. Raiders from Johannesburg and Gardens from Uitenhage. If you don't know where Uitenhage is, it's a stone's throw from Port Elizabeth, which is called Kabaka.
Kabaka. Place that you are from, Mr. Cowley.
That's correct. Ah, he's got the distance, no problem. And he's got the direction too from Mayedwa.
Very educated boot from Lonwaba Mayedwa to get the extra 3 points. Of course, Gardens, the Grand Challenge Club Rugby champs in the Eastern Cape. And then you've got Raiders, who play their rugby at the Bull Jardine Stadium in Joburg.
Little knock on there for the Raiders. It's a great pity because they could well have scored a try from there. Just got a breakaway.
Going up into there, there's the knock on there. Fingertip stuff. I see the flags in the background, just the evidence of the wind that is blowing through the stadium.
Not too much in the pack weights. And of course, as Warren Brosnan will bear out, he was up there in the doof, as it was called, the scrum. He knows a little bit about the importance of technique in the scrum, not just weight.
So important, I tell you what, Gav, how good is that? Just the support there from the Gardens Rugby Football Club. They've come down supporting their team. And I think that's the great commonality amongst this tournament, just the community and the lifeblood of club rugby in South Africa.
Use on me, use it! Use it!
Call to use it was made, and Comfort did manage to get it away, and well,
it's going to come back.
Yep, outside the 22, so from the angle at which he kicked it, they need to come back, and there'll be a line-out throw-in to Raiders.
The scrum took place outside the 22. The ball then got passed back into the 22 to Buurten Polman. He can't kick it directly into touch. This is Reinhard Olofse to feed line out.
Okay, gents, we want a fair contest in the air, so please keep the gap open, please. Keep it open. Keep it open. Space. Give space. Okay. Fly off and you do 10 meters.
Oh, Adrian Philander.
Stay!
Really understands what needs to be done. Now Zono with the little pop pass on the inside. Raiders looking dangerous here. Seen a fair bit of Colin Kusane carrying the ball upfield, the number 8 for the Raiders team. And the word pressure is being used there as the support and the people on the side just making sure that they understand that. But here they come then. The Raiders have finally got over, and it's Adrian Carlson, the machine operator, who's shown his worth.
Just lovely hands from all their players. The offloading of that ball was of high quality. And then Adrian Carlson, we've seen he's a good finisher. Just runs around the corner. The defence doesn't quite get to line him up. He comes around the corner into the space. Good hands and basic rugby. to create the overlap, runs around on the loop for Adrian Carlson.
I'm watching this kick of John Quebecca's here with a lot of interest. He's a very accurate goal kicker, judges the wind well. This is an incredibly tough kick, believe it or not. Well, there we go. An absolutely brilliant kick that. It just faded away at the last minute. But you can see what an educated boot he has.
Yeah, that was a really good strike. It was just that wind that's cleared away. A quick play from the base by Captain Marco Alberts. Takes that first step, draws in the defence, plays it out wide, and then the runaround move by Carlson. Creating and making space for their players.
You see there the importance of making those first time tackles too. 2 tackles missed there by Gardens. It's gone the 10 meters and brilliantly taken. He was tackled in the air there, was Tame. No response from the referee. There we go. Once again, good application of the advantage law.
Yeah, we've been universally impressed with the standard of refereeing throughout this Easter festival, through all the games. And again, no hesitation from the Gardens team. Signal they want to take the 3 points.
You know, when you've got the competent goal kickers, which you know, Lonwabo Mayedwa, who's taking this kick, I don't know his history, but John Mbeka, as we know, is an excellent goal kicker. And Mayedwa had no difficulty with the previous penalty that he slotted over. And again, he's got no problem with the wind at his back. Yeah, it's another good one there from Mayedwa. So at the moment, it's a kicking duel between those 2 kickers.
Oh, he loved it, Lonwaba Mnyedya. He hit that ball, he struck it, and he ran straight back to his own half. The man educated at Solomon Klangu High.
Quebeca with a decent kick, well fielded as well by Asante Tami. Oh dear, just stepped on the line. From the left wing there, Luton Johnson. All good intentions to come back in field. Wise play too. Don't let the touchline be a defender against you. Also gets that one spot on this time. Out it comes quickly from Alberts. And chance of a run there for Brendan O'Donoghue. The Raiders running a little bit laterally at the moment. Now they manage to straighten things up a little bit. Makes it so much easier for your outside backs. Quebeca with the little pop pass. Another good one, another good one. 2 great passes, lots of pace, lots of strength as well.
Step number 2, step.
Uribata. Well, the Raiders are starting to climb in now. It's 8. They trail by those 3 points. Are looking the part now. Unfortunately, they're going to have to come back.
I've got it. Obstruction.
Obstruction.
Time is off. Captain. Oké. Als je hier komt, zeg maar naar elkaar gelezen hier renners. Hulle val die terug, so hulle is nooit onside. Hulle bly sommer in 'n offside posisie. Het 'n hoop nuwe spelers. Of dan kan die volgende nie binne op een. Nummer 1.
That's very well explained that, Warren. I'm not sure if you understood the Afrikaans.
Yeah, no, well, there's the obstruction, but they were playing advantage.
Where's the mark? Thank you.
For the Gardens players not falling back, not retreating, and not being in an onside position. Must say, the lovely build-up with a little run-around move by the fly half Zono. and the pace by Murata on that wing.
There we go. He's not kicking a goal.
I'm sensing they've got a little bit of momentum, and there's times in the game when you get that momentum, you get that feeling, and you've got to go for the jugular, you've got to go for that 5-pointer.
It's white boys. Ik heb gezegd voorheen, ik zoek een fair contest in de air. Zo mannen behouden die space, die middel is daar.
Good communication.
Very much
Time is
so.
on again.
It was
Go.
going through my head, exactly that.
Klute has been a good source of ball.
Oh, that's not fun. Yeah, unfortunately, the Achilles heel of club rugby often in tournaments like this is handling.
So 9 out from this far is crucial. So you've got to be very brave to go up in the air here because you're sacrificing on drive. You saw there their captain Ryan Oliphant was picked up by their players. They competed, they decided to compete on that ball and not merely just give the Raiders the ball. So very brave from the Gardens, and they almost got, they got good reward because from that they've now got a scrum feed where they can exit.
Marvin Comfort will have the put in, and he'll want a decent scrum in front of him before he gets that ball back to Pullman. If that's going to be the action, no, it's a pickup from the number 8, says to Hans.
No, he lost it. Stay on side. And use it!
Look, that was really, really tight, but they managed to get it out and back to the 22-meter line.
Line is the middle.
A tough kick
From the line.
for Pullman. Really good pressure applied by Willifsa and O'Donoghue.
Willifsa to the front then. Good solid line out that from the Raiders. Quebecer through their hands it goes. Can they find a way through here somewhere? Carlson up in the line to be part of the mix. Gardens spread across the field now, importantly to keep their shape when it comes to defensive work. Wow, quick take, very quick take. Caught everyone by surprise, and now they've conceded a penalty. And you spoke about that the other day, Warren, as they again take it quickly and try and move on. Be sure about what you do, be concise with what you do.
Yeah, you don't want to be putting yourself in a weaker position by overreacting too quickly, but there is a time to speed play out.
Zono, done neatly there, just
Release now!
someone managed to get a hold of his jersey, otherwise he might have been through.
No,
Carried by Sikingi
Advantage.
and Kanya Madimo. No counter ruck from the Gardens. And then taken up by Sinu Bali. Former UJ, or I think he maybe still a student at the University of Johannesburg.
No, release, no!
From
Release!
Kalaya Nadimo.
Step.
Albert's not sure what's needed here, but they're going to make a decision quickly. And that decision made, but all just a little bit messy there and scrappy.
Number 1, come here. Ready on you there. No arms tackle. Off you go.
So yellow card it is.
Tommy's the man that's been sent off for a no arms tackle.
Captain. Where's the captain? Captain.
He's been really busy this morning, has Lieutenant Tame. And he's going to be busy on the naughty chair for a while now. So John Quebecer is, they're going to have a scrum. Okay, they've made a call there for the scrum.
Which is not a bad call. The loose head prop's just been sent off, yellow card. They've got to bring someone else on. Plus, then you're going to get your defence is going to be sucked in. Because it's a pressure zone, they're probably going to have to put a backline player into that forward pack of 8. And there'll be space out wide for this Raiders team.
Captain.
And you can see the indecision amongst the Gardens players at the moment.
Captain.
Well, they probably say,
Unsure as to how they're going to attack or defend this situation.
we haven't got a man to bring on, they say. No, I'm joking. They have got Winston Zano, who's coming on, the 36-year-old. He's got 115 kilograms that he can offer. And they're certainly going to need it here at scrum time. Always wondered how difficult it is to come straight onto the field and either throw the ball in a line out or go straight into a scrum.
The thing is, you've got to get yourself mentally in the game in a hurry, and that's the big thing, to get yourself mentally prepared for what's about to come. So when you're sitting on that bench, you've always got to be expectant, as to knowing that you could be on the field at any minute.
Crouch!
So Marco Alberts, the captain of the Raiders team, has the put in, and he's got a midfield scrummage, which is most useful.
Steady, keep it up, gents. Use for me, use the ball, use the ball.
Kusani at the back. Now they're down the line they come. Kubaka.
Backwards.
Oh, it hasn't worked. It's gone backwards, so play will continue.
Leave it now, leave
The
it
Raiders haven't quite, in fact, they've made a little bit of a hash of that, because the put in now belongs to Gardens at the scrum.
Now Gardens sacrificed the number right. They didn't put a backline player in there. They were able to hold that scrum, and then it was very lateral from John Kubeka, who eventually just dropped the ball on the ground. Gives turnover opportunity to this Raiders side to now exit this position.
It's quite interesting if one considers the weather conditions too. So the wind is at the back of Gardens, so they, in theory, more of the game should be being played down in the Raiders territory, but that's not been the case.
They haven't been utilising that wind at all.
Sit. Keep it up, gents, no movement.
Will we see a big kick from Coleman, or what will they do? Hunts at the back of the scrum, but they'll have to reset that because the scrum has popped up. By that we mean heads have popped out of the scrum, so we've got to reset again.
A big job here now for Rontes, Lovemore, Pedro Barnes and Palmer in that front row for Gardens.
Not Tommy, he's on the
out. Tommy's out. It's Winston's out.
He's sitting on the naughty chair. Well, that just relieves the burden a little bit here for Gardens, but it is a free kick, so what do, you know? For me,
get it downtown. You
absolutely
clear it, get it downtown into the half of your opposition, and you reset from there. Get your chasing line set as well.
That's a very big kick, and it's a very good kick too. My goodness. The angle that he had to work with was actually quite acute.
There have been some real opportunities where Buton Coleman has showed his skill and ability in that number 10 jersey for this Gardens rugby team. And that was just a superb kick.
Williams has got Sinuvali and Mitchell Clutie as his primary jumpers in the line out. Clutie, I think, was the target the last time and again. Going quickly through the hands. Now the change of direction. Seen some guys with real pace on the wing. All the teams that have played are playing in this tournament. Alberts. Change of direction. Now they've got an extra man here if they can make use of this. Gap was quickly closed by Gardens. Olofsson.
Advantage over. No, it is walking.
Alberts.
Advantage over. No.
They're just not able to find their way through there. Each time they think there's some space to move in, like Alberts did on that occasion. They get closed down quite quickly. And then also the danger of the ball being turned over. Now Polman with the kick downfield. It's once again, it's a good solid kick. We haven't seen enough of that from the fly halves or the kickers today.
No, that is how you play these conditions, and it started up front of the defence. There was really good defence by Matt Carlsa and Craig Spikey Ferreira. They were instrumental making the tackle, turning that ball over, doing the dark art stuff in the close exchanges, and a backline player was involved in that. And then they got it to the scrummy, and he absolutely smashed it downtown. Really good work there by Gardens.
can have 2 halfbacks, boys.
A very narrow lead. It is 11 points to 8. Just those 3 points that Gardens
2 halfbacks.
got in their favour. Now John Quebecer was, they thought he might kick it downtown, but he hasn't done that. Just a little tap to Brendan O'Donoghue. Zono. All the way through the midfield. Try a little bit wider if you can. No real opportunity for Carlson to get his arms through the tackle. And as a result, again, it's a turnover.
That's not forward. Number 12.
I think Raiders are shooting themselves in the foot a little bit every now and then. But there's no love lost out there, is there?
And they're wild on the ground, both teams at the moment. And when you go out wide like that, you can expose yourself. Because you've got no cleaners, you've got no one to secure the ball. And Gardens guys flooded that breakdown, got the turnover.
Let's go, boys, let's go.
Well, I love the communication, especially the positive communication that comes from the referees, you know. Very clear, very concise. This is what I expect, this is what's happening.
Stability, boys, no movement. Thank you.
It makes everything so much easier for the players out there than to not to have to be quibbling with the ref about decisions. Another penalty. Well, the first game we had today, which was between Barberton and Philpott, saw plenty of penalties. Raiders coming back in field once again and not finding enough space out wide. Now, Kluti.
No, release, no! Release! Stay on.
John Quebecer in a scrum off on that occasion. I think just about changing direction every now and then, but the Gardens team have to take credit for their defensive work. It's been solid. And it's been well organised too.
Ball is out, ball is out.
Carlson. Rubber kick through.
Turnover is good.
Well, the penalties are flowing.
Good intensity there from the Johannesburg base side. Now taking the ball into contact, then the little kick through came through, and it was just a transference of pressure. They put the pressure onto the Garden side, completed the breakdown, won the penalty. Desperately want to make this numerical advantage count. They're now just short of 5 meters from the try line.
Yeah, John Quebecer kicking it out into the corner. He's a personal trainer, and you know, just going through all the occupations of those who do have occupations in the team is actually quite a variety, isn't there? From welders to transport managers to
students and teachers,
yeah.
boiler makers and welders.
Closing the gap in the line out.
No, it is so good to see all these players involved in the game at club level.
Away!
Raiders desperate
The ball's available, the ball's available, it's fine. The ball is out!
Find a way to get into the lead. And, they are that close from the try line. Over they go, and down they go. The touchdown is there. The try has been scored. So excellent play that by the Raiders to get themselves back into the lead as Brendan O'Donoghue scored the try.
He's done well as Brendan O'Donoghue. He's showed good work rate. He's got his body around, made a lot of tackles. He's applied a lot of pressure on Buton Pullman when on kick, and now he's just picking that ball up and muscling his way over in the tight exchanges. Does well. He's got the ability and has the right to roll over to place that ball as the former King Edward High School Kes player.
no easy conversions on a day like today, and that one just gets added to the list too, making it difficult. And in fact, it's amazing how many tries have been scored far out during the course of this tournament.
Yeah, 100%, and then this one in
Let's
close
get a hold
quarters.
of the field, please, boys. Let's
And
go.
good work shown by O'Donoghue.
You know what?
There's some of the supporters of the Raiders team. They've travelled far to get here.
So Tommy is back on the field again, so it's 15 against 15 once again. Short work there of Winston Zana, who's gone back onto the bench. And now Pullman with the restart. And that's an almost perfect kick there, but a great little pluck out of the air there from Sinu Vali. Mitchell Tutti. That's good play from Gardens. They've turned over quite a number of balls during the course of this tournament. Shown that their work at the breakdown is excellent.
Advantage, penalty advantage, high tackle.
There's a high tackle that was called. Taken up by Pedro Barnes. He's held on to the ball. Now they've got extra men as well that they could maybe utilize here somewhere along the line.
Leave it now, leave it on me, leave it.
That's going to be another penalty.
number
Wow,
11.
the penalties are mounting.
Yeah, hands on the ball, on the ground.
Number 11 wide, I shot.
O'Donoghue the culprit.
Yeah, and one of the things they cannot stop doing is they throw numbers into the breakdown. And then they come in, they counter ruck, they end up chasing. The other team hasn't sent enough numbers in. You just see green jerseys turn the ball over. They cannot stop doing that. That is a pathway into this game. Only 2 points behind, but that's how you can win the game if you keep doing that kind of work at the breakdown. Well done there by the Gardens. Boom boxes are coming in. I tell you, the stadium is just going to fill up as the afternoon progresses for that big final game, Grootbak against Safkol.
Wide,
Well,
open,
for many
please.
local people, there's a bigger game before that.
You're right.
Saldanah.
I'm right.
So the Raiders are dominating. You can see both territory and possession there, despite the fact that they're playing into the wind. I don't want to make too much of the wind thing because it is a mental factor as much as anything else. But it is a tight game, a very tight game. And here comes the chance of a try.
Force out.
Just up short. There comes the try. Wow. That was very, very good thinking that too, in terms of what do we do with this ball? We're right there. I can't get over. Is there somebody else in a better position than me? And Gardens with immediate reply. And they take the lead again.
Well, this game's a simple game. You just, if you ask, what do I do? What do I need to do? Well, take the ball forward. That's what they did. They won the ball at line-out time. They carried it forward. When they got down to ground, they recycled it. They popped it up to a big hooker in the shape of Pedro Barnes. And they scored the try. And they just showed how easy you can make that be if you just do the simple things correctly.
So that try just before half-time too was a big fillip for the team. Yet with 2 successful penalties, 2 unsuccessful conversions to date. Yep, unfortunately not making it. So it's a 3-point game, and it really is a tough and tight game this between these two teams. There's the final pass, and credit as well to Pedro Barnes for the support play. Right up there in the mix.
Now you go out there, get out, get out,
organised
get out.
pack of forwards here from
The ball's
Gardens.
available, stay.
Over the top it goes from Marvin Comfer. Carlson unable to take.
Backwards from Green.
They're all over the place, are the Raiders, but Gardens decide to keep it tight. And they could have spread it out very quickly. Try scorer Barnes. Comfer. Coleman with a kick down towards the touchline. Finds the security and safety of that touchline to almost onto half time, and they'll be hoping to try and get another try if they can, Gardens, before we have that mid whistle.
Just wait, just wait. There's your man.
Ulisse and Tuti have done pretty well in the lineouts to date, but that ball not in straight. Ulisse doesn't agree with what Hooker does.
If it goes 5 meters straight and then I'm happy, but it was from the beginning stage. Let's go, Jeds. Huh? Only 1 minute. 4 seconds. Let's go. Boys, let's go.
Last chance saloon then for Gardens to rack up some extra points.
Crouch!
That is Marvin Comfort.
Sit.
Looks like they're
Now
pretty much set up to
keep it
come
like that.
open
Keep it up,
side.
gents. Keep
They
it up.
get decent delivery from the scrum. No, they've gone blindside. Not the best of passes to Marvin Comfort. He runs into a little bit of a cul-de-sac there of some sizable men. Chip kick. Oh, and another chip kick.
No.
Which way does this one bounce?
Come here. High tackle.
Oh dear.
It's a clear high tackle.
No, we got to come back for a
Captain.
high tackle.
Okay. Gila Gabaski, was ook 3 high tackles, 3 high tackles die in je span geweest. Zeg je koud, nee? Off we go. Step. Go.
So high tackle, unfortunately, is being punished. So that's another yellow card. This time it goes against the Raiders team. There we go. That's you can see there.
Where's the mark?
Machachini,
Yep.
the man with the yellow card.
Sorry, James, there's the mark. I saw.
Mensen, kom eens weg, lekker staan alsjeblieft. Zie je wat je op snelste is?
And probably the right decision to kick it goal right now for
Ons uitspraakwoorden kaarten met onze
Mayedwa.
veiligheid. So, kom ons weg, lekker
Tweede iets
staan.
beginnen, hè?
Geen staan naar de
pretty solid
achterkant van de
with
stadion.
those 2 penalty goals that he kicked.
Alsjeblieft.
We are into red time right now as well, so this will be half time after this kick. Intense concentration from Lonwabo Mayedwa. But that's not over. So, well, there we have it then. Halftime is called, and it's the Gardens and the Raiders in a massive fight here at the Saldanha Bay 8. It really has been an interesting first half in many ways. Both teams scoring 2 tries. Halftime score here then, Gardens 16, Raiders 13.
Yeah, we are back here, and half-time we have it 16 points to 13. Gardens lead it, courtesy of those 2 tries apiece to both sides. I tell you, Gardens did well. They had a yellow card, but managed to keep their play going forward really nicely. And they started off with the opening try to beat their number 8, Setetu Khans. He would score from that reverse marker position. And it was an important score to open for Gardens. And then Raiders came back as well. They showed that they could run out wide, and they've got their fleet-footed fullback, Adrian Carlse, who was able to get in for this try. And it was a real arm wrestle between these 2 teams, which would continue in that first half, and it would be their open side flanker, their hard-working open side flanker, Brennan O'Donoghue, who muscled his way over, and he showed great work rate in that first half, applying a lot of pressure at tackle and chasing the ball. And then as the yellow card came back on, we would see Gardens running freely, doing things well, and their big hooker, Pedro Barnes, would be the man who would muscle his way over to score. And this is just some of the stats, and we can see the handling errors that the Raiders have conceded, and turnovers conceded, making it difficult for themselves. They played with that wind in that first half, and they would want to correct some of those stats. And then, 16-13, we can see the possession stats for Raiders. They had the possession, but they did, and the territory, and they were playing into that win, so they did really well with those conditions. And we will see what happens in the second half with these 2 teams. And with me downstairs right now, I've got former Springbok, Dale Santon. Dale, I remember travelling to France with you with the Springboks, playing in France, playing many games against Boerant. How are you doing, big guy?
No, all good though, bros. Nice seeing you here in my hometown of West Coast. And yes, that were the days. Missing the rugby playing days, seeing these youngsters playing today.
So tell us what you're doing at the moment with yourself, Dale.
I'm with the South African Rugby Legends, running a development program right over the country, which is called VUCA, which means awakening. So it's a development program for the non-traditional schools. And we're doing well. We've got over 600 schools nationwide.
Well, I mean, one of the hashtags for this tournament is grassroots to greatness. And I think exactly what VUCA and the SA Rugby Legends are doing, you can echo that without a doubt.
Yes, of course. Firstly, I need to congratulate all the organizers of this tournament, Ms. Vragom, Brian Ras and Johan Marman. They do an absolutely great job here out here for this tournament. I mean, it's the 5th year of this community rugby, and I can just see the talent and the fitness of this guy. See it so early in the season, and the talent that you see here. The unions must take note of some of these players.
And I think it has. That has been the thing. It's about developing the players and giving a pathway to those players that might not be in varsity, but they can come through the club scene as well.
Of course, you know, there's some late starters, and this is also great, like you said, a pathway for late starters and for club players who still got the opportunity to represent their provinces.
Fantastic, Dale. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Brosnia.
Cheers. That's Dale Santon, and former Springbok and heavily involved with the SA Rugby Legends. We've got next up the Gardens against the Raiders. Second half, Gardens lead 16 points to 13.
Welcome back to Saldanah Bay. For those of you who might have just tuned in, well, we're on the third day of this tournament, the Super 8s it's called, and we're halfway through the second match, which is the Gardens who are leading Raiders by 16 to 13. The Gardens come from Uitenhage in the Eastern Cape, and the Raiders team from Johannesburg. Been an almighty tussle in that first half, and the Gardens just edging things along. One of the benefits for Raiders might be, if they utilize it properly, the wind that they have at their back in the second half. John Kubaka is the man with the ball there, and he's discussing the wind tactics, one would think, with, well, with the referee.
Let's go, let's go.
Okay, ready to rock and roll for that second half. Rebecca with his trusty boot, getting it exactly right there onto Andile Mart, the oldest man on the field, 40 years of age, flank forward for the Gardens team. The Gardens team absolutely swamping the breakdown point, and that's what they've done so well. Warren Brosnan spoke about that in the first half, about the importance of dominating that area, getting enough players down there to the breakdown point, and that they've done really well in the first half. Can they do the same in the second? Bear in mind they're playing into the wind without making too much of the wind factor.
No, step what?
It's also
Ball was out.
an opportunity for you to take care of things. And I thought the player might have been out there over the touchline, but no, the referee says keep going. Little pop pass there from Andile Mart.
I step wide.
Scrum off, Marvin Comfer.
Advantage. Penalty advantage.
There's a penalty advantage, the referee says. Let's see what comes of this, though. Can they make something of this and score a try, rather? Always better than a penalty. They're going to come all the way back across the field, yeah.
Side tackle.
Interesting seeing the defending champions walking into the stadium. They won it last year against Progress. They come here today. They're going to be playing in that final against the champions from Southwestern Districts, Grootbroek. And that is going to be an intriguing game. Before that, of course, we've got Helderberg against Saldanah, the host club, running in the background, warming up. In that in-goal area, that's the Saldanah Rugby Football Club.
Now the Safgol team is an interesting one in that they come from Grabouw, and they normally have a pile of buses that bring people down here. But last year they were very much a wild card, and they ended up winning the tournament, and now they really are looking the part too. So that's a game that will be coming up. It's cool. It'll be the cup final that will be played that Warren has just spoken about.
Say more.
This one here is the plate final between Raiders and Gardens, and it's an almighty tussle too. Gardens doing really well with that pack of forwards. Well, it's going to be a penalty try. So interesting, and that domination is helping the cause of the Gardens team. Warren, you spoke about that earlier towards the end of that first half, about the importance of how they are flooding the breakdown point and controlling the ball.
Oh, it's vital, it's crucial. It's something that we see sides like Ireland, South Africa do so well. And you want to see the clubs try to replicate that, and that's an aspect of their play that they've done well at here. They sent a lot of numbers into their drive, they stayed tight, and eventually Raiders would concede and a penalty try awarded. Of course, they don't need to kick with a penalty try, it's automatically put onto the ledger, so they go to 23 points.
So you get 7 points, but you don't have to kick a goal like we had to do in the past. And so immediately that's a 10-point lead. It's a great way to start the second half. One's got to say they really have done well, the Gardens team, in that respect. They've won another penalty.
Into the ball.
And one wonders sometimes, Warren, too, you know, when you're playing 3 matches over 4.5 days, it's not that easy.
It's not easy at all.
No. And one wonders just, you know, if some teams, how fit these teams were coming here, too.
It's early in the season as well, right at the front door. Opening of the club rugby season, so it's a bit of an opening knockout for a lot of these teams. And a real test of fitness, which you build up as the season goes through. Again, you want to be showing the right pictures here to the referee, possibly a little high there from O'Donoghue. Just need to set your target a little bit lower.
Wide, open up, wide.
There is, of course, another benefit in so much that some of these teams have been here before. The Raiders team certainly have. So they're familiar with the conditions and the requirements for a tournament of this nature. But at the moment, they are trailing by 10 points.
Such a rich tradition with this Garden side and Raiders team, both of them contributing to the history of South African rugby, folklore and history.
4 wide, 4 wide. Let's go.
Michelita on for Bali.
Let's go, gents.
So Sino Bali's day is done. Michelita comes in the lock position. And no doubt we'll see a few more changes too. And of 28 players that come here, you virtually don't end up with 28 because someone's going to be injured somewhere along the line too. Wow, what a scrum that is from Gardens. Spoke about domination of their forwards. Incredible. The referee could have blown his whistle, he could have given them a penalty, but he's playing advantage.
Leave it on me, leave it now.
O'Donoghue's done well to get away with that, but they're going to come back for the penalty at scrum time. It was a risky strategy employed there by Raiders. They had no blindside flanker.
Under pressure, bring back.
Due to that yellow card, the heat came through, the pressure came through, and they conceded the penalty at scrum time. That's what we're playing for, Gav. There's a plate final and there's the tournament final.
Yeah, it's wonderful that, you know, it's always good to be playing for something, and those trophies have come the last 5 years as that this tournament has been going for, and that's just wonderful. It's going to be one of these teams, and then of course the final game.
I think they play for the Louis Skeppers Cup. He's a municipal manager that passed away in 2021. That's for the main tournament, the game between Safcol and Brock Raffet. Of course, we're watching the plate final at the moment.
Well, no contest in the line-out, and away with it comes Andile Mart, and there he goes too. Says it doesn't matter if I'm 40 years of age, I can still play this game. It's going to be a penalty against Gardens.
He's been good value as Andile Mart. You mentioned it a number of times. A 40-year-old in the number 6 jersey, breaking away from that line-out.
He's a dynamite man, I tell you.
And you've got to love it because, and Gav, you played club rugby. You get those club legends, those legends that have been there since they were 16, 17 years of age. They've always been with the club. They've always been part of the club. They've been associated with the club. The club is part of them. It's just good to see.
It's very relevant that, you know, and very often it's even at a younger age than that because maybe their father or their grandfather was playing for the club. Can Raiders make a difference here? Can they somehow just get into second gear, because they've been in first gear for a little bit too long now? Can they find their way through?
Release now, leave it.
Happy to just keep carrying the ball, bearing in mind, of course, that they've got the wind at their back. Now they've opened up just a little bit of space here.
Play on.
James Bester held up. He hasn't seen much of the ball.
Marco Albert's passed the ball straight into our referee, Adrian.
Sorry, Jen, sorry.
Philander.
Apologies, guys.
It should be scrum feed to the Raiders team. I tell you, I like the look of the little fly, Sipilele Zono.
Great counter.
He showed some good touches in this game for the Raiders.
Let's go. We're wasting time, boys. Let's go. I need you straight.
That's,
I need you straight.
A perennial phrase that. Let's go. We're wasting time. Referees are under instructions to speed up the scrums, to speed up the lineouts. The players are too clever.
In comes James Bester as a flanker on that blind side. Much needed.
Well, John Kubeka was running at a different angle there. The ball never... It was a bit of a difficult pass for him to take.
No. Clear ceiling off there. Clear ceiling off there.
So to be a scrum here to Gardens, and quite unexpectedly, I think, for many people, Gardens is spending a little bit more time in the Raiders' half of the field now, despite the fact that they are playing into the breeze.
They're really making the breeze a non-factor at the moment.
Let's go.
It's clumsy on attack there by the Raiders with that little drop ball. Giving possession over.
I'm on 10, I'm on 10.
Bind. Sit.
So who's going to be the magic man here? What could happen here? Put in belonging to Marvin Comfer, held at the back there by Gans. They've got a penalty advantage. Well, they don't want to be too bothered with that. They just want to take the ball up and go and score tries. Bear in mind they've got 3 tries, one of them a penalty try. And the long passes. Move it out wide.
Going back for the penalty.
Just the finishing touches lacking on that occasion.
I just needed soft hands, a sympathetic pass.
Where's the mark?
Gante Dame at first receiver. And then thereafter it was their their hooker, Pedro Barnes, also at first receiver.
Where's the mark? Willing.
The scrum just penalised for walking it around and not taking the heat.
It's a neat little interesting kicking style there as well from fly half Pullman.
He kept it low into the wind, so you got Mhlaba just walking it around, allowing it to go around. You can see not really pushing at all and just walking around. That's the penalty.
So important throw in this for Pedro Barnes.
Space up, boys.
We've spoken to the 2 lines in the line out and about creating the extra space, and they just keep closing it down. This time it works. Oh, the wind playing havoc. Then a huge kick downfield. My goodness. A fly kick. Now, which way do they go? Oh, that's excellent running off the ball, but unfortunately it's a forward pass. It was very, very close to being spot on to Mayedwa.
Just a little ball like this there. That one there deemed to have been transferred forward to Lucian Johnson. Running a top line. That hack through was good by Raiders.
Crouch. Bind.
Walker Alberts with the foot in. He wants a steady scrum, but he's not getting it. And the ball's just popped out, and it's another penalty. So, wow, this Raiders pack of forwards are really wilting, aren't they?
Big heats coming from the Gardens rugby team. Taken quickly.
Well, they just want to run at them, don't they? So
No, there's the ball. No one,
Dominic
no
Natal.
it's very positive play, one's got to say, from them too. The way they want to play, they want to move the ball around, and they're doing it at pace too. They actually look like a side that hasn't been here for the
Get the
weekend.
knee, no,
They
knock
look
on,
really,
play on.
actually really look quite fresh. But Raiders have a chance now. Back in field there. There's James Bester. And again, just little basic errors, you know. So the knock on now, immediately transfer of possession to the opposition.
It makes for excitement. You don't have the same structure that you're going to have in some of your professional franchises. So you get these turnovers of ball that happen out wide, and then it goes ebbs to and fro. A little knock on in contact by James Bester.
Okay.
He's been good. Andile Mart
He has.
been replaced. At 40 years of age, he's had a 55 minutes out on the pitch.
Let's go, I want to go.
But he's still in pretty good shape for a 40-year-old. Still plying his trade on the field.
Let's go again. There's the mark, boys. And left of the mark, hoe kan je
So
die...
the Konya unconscious on in his place.
Crouch!
It's been an enjoyable day, I feel, too, for Marvin Comfort at scrum half for Gardens.
Stability, no movement, gents.
Had enough latitude to work with. Here's another, this time a free kick. And it's tap and go immediately.
Step.
I'll tell you what, this Gardens team really, they look so lively. Raiders having to defend for their lives. And as things stand now, the Raiders really can't have another score against them. They're trailing by those 10 points at the moment. Gardens get another 7-pointer here. It's going to be very difficult to come back. And especially because your forward pack is being absolutely outplayed.
Vanaf is good.
Kubeka to Mitchell Clutie. Lateral movement from the Raiders, couldn't find a way through.
Advantage never onside, number 5.
Kubeka. Going back in field there, James Bester. Standing off was
Stop playing
Brendan
advantage,
O'Donoghue.
number 5 offside.
So referee playing advantage at the moment. An offside advantage, that is. Here's Zono.
Here's the mark.
So quick take there from Carlson.
The stand is fine.
Held up by the new man on the field, Lucana Hunt. And yet another penalty. Wow. These penalty counts are really stunting the flow of the game.
Discipline, boys.
And they wanting to go for goal. The Raiders.
I think it's the right one, Warren, to be honest
There's
with
enough
you.
time. There's lots of time. Over 23 minutes.
I don't think it's only that. I think also they've lost their way a little bit. And this gives them a chance to regroup a little bit. And if he does get that over, you know, then it's a 7-point game, essentially, if my abacus is working properly. So it's probably the right thing to do. And it also just puts a little bit of pressure on Gardens, you know, that the scoreboard is narrowing somewhat. So it's probably the right call. And also you've got a competent goal kicker. So competent is the word. First points for the Raiders in the second half.
Yeah, a good kick in the end from John Quebec, and as you said, Gavin, it just gives them something to work from, a base to work from in the second half for this Raiders team. The wind that there is a little bit of a side wind as well, but it should be at their backs. That is for the Raiders to try utilize.
So Raiders just want to carry the ball, don't they? You see that comes Kusane. There's one of them there, but it's just these little basic errors that we're seeing so many of that's just taking the oomph out of the Raiders team.
Yeah, so you need some structure when you're going into contact like that. You've got Kanya and Nkosana, who's had a good game, showed he's been a bit of a live wire. When he goes into contact, you need 2 or 3 of your forwards coming in, blowing over, making sure that ball is secure and that you win it. You can't have players standing off waiting to run and the ball doesn't come out.
Yeah, slow delivery at the breakdown point doesn't help the cause.
Sit.
Comfort had the benefit of a scrum going forward all the time. Once again, does exactly the same thing.
The hooker to hook the ball. There's no hook from the hooker. There's no hook.
Interesting there, Warren. You might want to touch on that point as well. About the hooking. Okay, yeah, they come. Raiders. See, they've got some sprightly men out wide too that can really make things change. Here's Brendan O'Donoghue. Scored one of the 2 tries and then a pass directly into touch.
Our captain courageous, Marco Alberts will be very disappointed with that effort. He realises they're just trying to build a little bit of momentum. There was some good go forward, a good carry by O'Donoghue. And just misjudges that pass.
Time for the bomb squad. So the changes now being rung.
Our big D, Dylan Malkas, 140 kgs, on in jersey 18.
White.
Torbo in jersey 16.
Neat ball from the line out, that for Gardens. Good ball, Barnes. Already a try scorer today. Now, when you run out of space, all sorts of things can happen.
We've seen him everywhere. We've seen him put a little kick through. He's carried the ball a few times, and this time out on the wing. But James Best is the man that's been penalised for a high tackle. Again, the discipline in tackling technique, so very important here. Bang, he goes in there, doesn't bend at his hips, doesn't flex his knees. Too upright and penalised for that tackle. I think that penalty kick now has just shown the effect of that win, Gavin. Only advanced that ball about 10 metres downtown.
It's one thing you've got to discipline yourself when you're playing in wind and you have a situation like that. You have to sacrifice distance for accuracy. So rather just get it out 10 metres, you know, on, which is what happened on that occasion with Polman.
In the line out, Jeffin. In the line out. So yeah. In the line out, comes from the 15.
Again, really good competing. He's been great at line out as Kluter. Wiry lock forward. Certainly not a Quibus Visa in that second row, and easy to pick up at line out time. They get him up in the air, and he's been a good source of ball for this Raiders team, has Mitch Kluter.
Well, the Raiders are not out of this game. You know,
That's one try.
That's all it is, you know, and if they play this wisely and they get enough position and this pack of forwards of theirs can stay in motion.
Advantage.
Well, they're playing advantage at the moment, and the advantage is to the Raiders team. The sloppy pass that really just slows things down a little bit.
Step. Still advantage.
Still advantage to the Raiders team. Now looking to run at the opposition. There's Besta. And they're getting a bit more possession here now. Trying to make use of it. Adrian Carlson. too much room for Zono to work with. Now a little bit of space sought. There's the change of direction. Oh, just a little bit messy. So we're going to come back. There's going to be another yellow card here, I'm afraid. This could also make a difference.
There was a high tackle there. There was a high tackle there. I stood in the road and it's a yellow card. High tackle.
Yep. Another yellow card.
This is really leveling things out, Warren. They're down.
Gives a window for Raiders to just get back into this game properly.
Definitely. And I knew this was going to happen. They're going to have a kick at goal now. Just narrow that a little bit more.
This is the 39-year-old, Craig Spiky Ferreira. He's been penalised there, and it is high. Just he didn't make much contact at all. It was just an arm that was shot out.
As they say, a law is a law. Well, this is really where you need your competent kicker, which is this man, John Kubeka. 2 penalties thus far in the game. This is the most important. Oh dear, it's swung past the right hand upright. Disappointing finish for him.
It really is about reading that wind correctly as to where you're going to position that ball and place it.
James Bester off and Dizione Depanzu is on. And Besson on for Brendan O'Donoghue too, so those changes being made. Stick out Besson, that is.
Tackle now!
Well, the Raiders suddenly are coming to life again, and it's because they're getting a
Advantage
little
over
bit
the
more
knock
ball than they've had for most of the second half.
Oh, Big D. 140 kgs.
Play, well done.
Hawaii! I'm happy.
Help him! Help me, fucking man!
There's a little muddy tussle going on up front there, isn't there? Those 16 forwards are having a whale of a time. Round 1. Carlson done the right thing. He's held on to it. Now this is excellent running from the fullback. Have a look at this. Wow. If they could have just got that through the hands a little bit quicker. But he's almost taking them on himself, Carlson.
Get up!
Hit us on one side. Hit us on one side.
Now, can they make sure that they don't have a knock-on? Or a bad pass. Here's Mitchell Critty.
Tackle leave now. Leave it, Green. Step.
Quickly through the hands. Another quick pass. Through they go. And, oh,
Lovely.
try time for them. Excellent play that. And suddenly the Raiders have said to themselves, guys, we're not going home without a trophy.
Absolutely brilliant stuff here from the Raiders. They rolled their sleeves up, they muscled up, they carried it around the fringes. This guy out in the wide channels has been really good. Vuyisani Singike did well. He's got great hands, good distribution. Takes it on the drift and drifts outside, beats the man with his speed and gets in for an all-important score. What about the run from Adrian Carlson, their fullback? The carry up from some of their players around the fringes.
Are we going to have a draw here today? What about this kick? No. John Kubeka's conversion not finding the target.
Just under 12 minutes to go. 2 points separate these two sides. Raiders certainly pulling themselves back into this game. Aside from Johannesburg will not go away.
The Gardens team very, very slowly making their way back to the halfway line, trying to eat up time.
Oh, they can't eat up time now. There's too much rugby still to be played. Got to attack this game.
I think they're feeling it, eh? They're feeling the pinch.
Well, we spoke about the cardiovascular. We spoke about the early season that they are having these 3 games. And the fitness that is going to be tested.
So Raiders now, if it was me, I'd be playing down deep in Gardens territory. They're not doing that. They want to run with everything from anywhere. There's the up and under from John Kubeka. A huge kick. Beautifully fielded, one's got to say, too, by Lukonia Hans.
That's not a tackle, it's in
It's
the air.
held
It's
up
not a
at
tackle, it's
the
in the
moment,
air.
It's going to be a scrum to the Raiders. Everything's going their way at the moment.
Now they're getting the
Not a
calls.
tackle.
I thought it was absolutely brilliant out of the air. You mentioned it from Hans, because that was difficult. In the wind, running backwards, and he managed to field it.
I think what's also helped the Raiders is that they've brought these replacements on, and they're making a difference. You know, all their replacements that have come on are very much part of the mix, and they're fresher, of course, as well.
They've certainly imparted and brought energy.
And stable. Let's go.
Kellen Benjamin in jersey 20 to feed the scrum.
Bind. Sit.
Oh dear, it's popped out. That's unfortunate. Now the kick forward. There's only one chaser at the moment, and that's Comfer. Suddenly, there are far more
Out there.
Raiders players at the point of breakdown than we've seen all game. There's a torpedo fielded by Mayedwa. Looking for the easiest route through. Well, he's found a route that's got certainly him in front of his forwards. Now,
Advantage.
the Raiders know if these guys score, the game's over. They can't allow them to score
Apply an
again.
advantage. No, release now. Release it. Leave it.
Everybody looking up, everybody trying to
Leave
find
it now.
some
Leave it on me.
space to move in on the field. But this is where they've been at their most dangerous, the Gardens team, when they've actually had
Check the
possession
timing.
and then just put all the pressure in the world onto the Raiders team.
Release. Leave it.
Oh, they're going to come back for a penalty, and now's another question, Warren. And I think I know what your answer
I'd
is.
take the 3 points here.
Yeah, it's got to be. You're going to eat up a fair bit of time to. The 3 points get you to 26, which means they've got to score a try to catch up with you.
Yeah, and you bang in front of the uprights as well. Yes, you are kicking into that wind.
8 minutes. 8.
It looks like Lukono Hans is the man that's going to be doing the kick.
No, I think it is
It's
Mayedwa.
Maidwa.
Yeah, it is Mayedwa. And he has been their primary kicker all the way through, so we'll be hoping that all they've got to offer this second half is a penalty try. Other than that, the Gardens have not managed to get any additional points, and this could seal the game for them. It's a vital kick. He's gone and pulled it, and he lost his kicking style there. You could see he just like almost looked to chip it. Well, maybe someone's given him a little bit of money and said, let's make a game of it.
Move it.
He just stabbed at that ball.
Now let's go.
It had nothing to do with the wind. It was just a poor kick
Can go, you ready?
from Maidwa.
John Kubeka's big kick downfield to the same man, Mayedwa. His pass. Is that going to be a decent enough kick? Yes, it is. Very good play there from Polman. And he's made some really good decisions during the course of this game, has Polman.
Take it quickly here.
He doesn't kick it a mile, but he certainly is accurate. Certainly the Raiders
Backwards.
very much
Play on.
part of that mix, but then that ball's been taken away by Gardens. Long pass. Mayedwa. Oh, dearie me. Gardens not holding on to that ball. There's just over 5 minutes left of this game.
Out in those wide channels, free running backs. Just unable to hold on to it. Kerwin sees up. Maidwa bringing himself in. The pass was fine. Just looked up at the defending player that was tracking across.
Let's go, boys.
And it's vital to any rugby player. First thing you do, make sure that ball is set in your hands before you start looking up at the defense.
Crouch!
Exactly 5 minutes left of this match.
Bind! Sit! Sit, boys. Let's go. Stop. No, movement. You want the right scrum, boys. Let's get it right, please. Let's sort it out. Let's sort this out, boys.
Scrum's not very stable, one's got to say.
Stefan, let's go. Crouch! Bind! Sit! Stability, square both sides. Let's go again. No? Who's the pop on this side? You have to go forward first before your wheels comes. Open like the next time. On this side, you have to go straight before you can wheel this come. Again. Let's
The
go.
referee just communicating. Audra and Saldanah, you've got to go straight before you can walk around the corner, which is quite right. Just explaining it to the big tight head prop.
Crouch!
For Raiders. Raiders got to try pull themselves back in here now.
Bind! Sit!
Just over 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, not a lot of time. Okay,
Let's
that's a
use
strong
that, use
scrum there
Tommy,
from
thank you.
Gardens. Somehow they managed to get it out. And that's really, I think, oh dear, another one. We've just seen one, now we see another one. Little basic error with knock-ons. It doesn't help the cause at all.
That's the big thing in those last 5 minutes. It's the pressure, it's the tiredness, it's the fatigue. It's how you react when the pressure comes on that differentiates you. This is Helderberg. They're coming up against Saldanah in our next game for 3rd and 4th position. Thereafter, the cup final between Safkol and Grootbrak. Safkol, the defending champions. Grootbrak, the champions from Southwestern Districts.
The aspirant champions.
Aspirant champions, that's the right terminology, Gav. Big Rontus Lovemore in jersey number 3.
Let's go.
For Gardens, occupying that tight head role.
124 kilograms, age 35. Wonderful to see.
Bind! Sit!
These guys really love their rugby. Gardens crowd, Gardens supporters in the crowd certainly are in full voice at the moment, starting to sing. They have an expectation that their team's going to win this, but hey, it's not over yet.
Big scrum, because they needed that. They got that left shoulder. They denied Gardens that right shoulder. They cut off their scrum off from his fly off. Then the loose forwards got in between. A little knock on a cruise. Now they get scrum feed. This is crucial for them to try and get back, or to try and win this game. 2 points. They are behind the Gardens side.
Let's go, number 18, let's go.
And less than 2 minutes to play.
And less than 2 minutes to play.
Crouch!
Yeah, last chance saloon, I would say. What can they do here?
Sit. Stability, no
Callum
movement.
Benjamin with a put in.
That's
It's got a scrum in retreat again.
advantage.
In fact, they've got a penalty advantage. They've got to go all out now. Absolutely all out. Outside of that, if they come back for that penalty, they've got to kick it out on the corner flag. Gubeka through the hands quickly to Sinkpe. A quick change of direction there for Nico Besson. Dejan Dapanzu. They're in the strike zone. They know they've got to score a try.
No edge.
Still very, very much at it.
Tackle. Step.
Get it out quickly is the call. They've done that with some slick passing. Can they now finish this? Suddenly,
The ball. Leave it, Gil.
the Raiders forwards are swarming to the breakdown point. We didn't see that at the start of the second half. Now they've got a sniff of that goal line and a sniff of a trophy on the side, the plate final trophy. This is their time. They want to finish it off in style.
Leave it.
Surely they're going to score here. Somehow they've got to get over that line. 8 phases they've been through. 9 phases. And someone's in touch. Well, that's going to be the final whistle, and it is, in fact, a bit of a tame finish in some ways, and perhaps a worthy one, one's got to say, too, for the Gardens team, who were really the finished product for most of the game. One's got to give them credit for that, but the Raiders came back, and credit as well to their coach. I think his replacements were very good. It brought an extra energy onto the field. But ultimately, they ended up being the losers. So the final score here in the plate final at Saldanah Bay Super 8 is Gardens 23, Raiders 21. Well, in rugby, you want to see highlights, not lowlights, and there were enough of them in this particular game. Some really classic tries, and some of those tries were, in fact, right up front too. And Dilly Mart was the first scorer there. The 40-year-old did such a good job, and then Carlson came into the mix, managed to get a try too. He's been impressive.
The ball is out.
And then a good drive eventually from Brendan O'Donoghue to get another try for them. That just kept them in the mix for a while. But then they lost their way, unfortunately, and then it was Gardens who came back into it. Nothing was going to stop them and getting over that try line, and it was Pedro Barnes who picked up his try of the match. 3 tries they scored. There was a penalty try as well that one had to consider, but it was the Raiders who really started climbing in, and Siginki was the man who got their final try. Statistically, well, Gardens, you can see how many tackles they had to make, and so many of those were in the second half, unfortunately, and plenty of tackles that they missed too. And 20 turnovers were conceded by the Raiders, where I think they ran out of steam to a certain extent. So territory and possession, well, the Raiders actually owned that territory. How about that? But yet they ended up losing the game. Downstairs, Warren Brosnian is ready to rock and roll.
Standing with the man of the match, he comes from the Raiders team, Brendan O'Donoghue. I've got Philip Humphreys from the Bullhunt Rugby Club to hand him the Coke gift voucher. Well done, Brendan, well played. Cheers. And then to bring over the Raiders captain, Marco Alberts. Marco, gee, that went right down to the wire. Could easily have taken that victory.
Yeah, definitely. We played till the end. Congratulations to Gardens. They also played very well up until the end. The wind was up again today, so conditions was a little bit tough. But again, congratulations to Gardens.
Tell me, there was an intense struggle between the two of you. 2 points separated, right down in that corner at the end. How close did that go?
Yeah, it's exciting for the fans to watch. Right down to the end. We could have scored. They tackled us out, and it's exciting to watch.
Marco, tell us, from a player's point of view, to be involved in this tournament, what value has it added to you, to the Raiders Rugby Club, and to you guys as individuals performing here?
Yeah, it's incredible. I must say it's very well organized. We've never been to a tournament like this, so big ups to all the organizers of this tournament, and all the guys here getting out of Joburg, getting to see the sea and all of that. Definitely a great experience.
Well, thank you very much, Marco. It's been a joy watching you guys play.
Thank you very much.
That's Marco Alberts, and then going to call over the victorious captain. Spoke to him the other day, Ryan Olifant. Ryan, big smile on your face again.
Ja, nee, baie beter gegaan. Ons het nie goed begin nie, maar op die einde het ons 2 wenne uit 3. So ons vat dit tot die einde beklei en ons het die wen gekry. So ek trots op die boys en van die af kon ons net vorentoe gaan met die seisoen wat voor lê.
Yeah, big forward effort by your forwards. I mean, the scrum worked well, and then out wide you had some really good tries scored.
Ja, die scrums was weer, ons het was dominant daar. Die altyd voorvoetbal vir die backline gekry en ek dink die keer het ons geleenthede gebruik veral in die eerste helfte. Dit is altyd moeilik met die wind hierso, maar ons het ons tries gevat en op die einde het dit getel en vir ons weer wen.
Ryan, I asked Marco Alberts, the captain for Raiders, what value has this tournament added to you guys as players coming from Uitenhage to come and play here?
Baie groot. Ek dink klubs soos ons kry nie baie geleenthede vir toernooie soos die nie. So dit beteken baie ons eerste baie dankie vir Saldanah wat ons genooi het en dit sal 'n groot plesier wees om weer te wees, want dit is baie goeie gemeenskap hierso en ons waardeer dit baie. Dankie, dit was baie lekker.
Fantastic, and we're hopefully going to see you again.
Baie dankie.
Okay. The team are walking across the garden side from Uitenhage. Mr. Andre Truta, if we can just ask you to walk across and hand over the trophy. The Executive Mayor of Saldanah. The Executive Mayor of Saldanah just wants to hand over the trophy to Ryan Olifant, the captain of the Gardens team from Uitenhage. A few words from Andre. Gardens Rugby, you are the plate final champions. Absolutely fantastic stuff here for Gardens Rugby. They're right next to me and they're singing and loving it. They win this game 23 points to 21. They leave the stadium as the plate final champions and they are absolutely delighted. First up we had Barberton losing to Veltrup 62-12, and the next game that we have got is the game for third and fourth position between Helderberg and Saldanah. So next up, we've got Helderberg against Saldanah, third and fourth position. We've got a triumphant Garden side from Uitenhage. They're going to be going home happy. Next up, Helderberg in the semi-final or the third and fourth game with the host Saldanah. the jewel of the West Coast. And we're just going to see some of the highlights from both Helderberg and this side that are coming up in this third and fourth playoff between the host Saldanah and Helderberg.
Saldanah Bay is the setting for the Saldanah Super 8 Easter tournament, and what a start it got off to late into the night, that rugby, and Saldanah Bay coming away with victory on that day. Didn't go their way on day 2 as they got torn apart by the high-flying reigning champion Safgol. You had a class in scoring in the corner there, but they never say die to Saldanah, getting their try, keeping the game alive all the way right until the final whistle. But Safgol's scrum power just proving far too much, and this penalty try proved to be definitive in the end. But the interplay between the youngsters, promising for the future of Saldanah Bay rugby, getting over in the corner there, the combination of DJ Karazin as well as his winger. But Safgol with their power play up front, that pick and go, the sniping from the big man, almost unstoppable. And here was one of the other matches. It's Helderberg against Raiders happening earlier. In fact, that was on Saturday, and Helderberg have really made a great showing of themselves here in Saldanah Bay over this Easter Festival weekend. With the 38 points, they racked up to the 6 of the Raiders. Raiders have had a tough time coming down from Joburg, perhaps enjoying the qualities of the West Coast just a touch too much here over the course of the 3 or 4 days that they've come down. But Helderberg making the most of the knowledge of local conditions and just running in the tries here. Great running rugby from the Helderberg side. And that was not the end of the action. Helderberg taking on Groot Brakrivier, who have also brought the entertainment to this festival over the course of the weekend. But we'll be seeing this side in black in just a few moments' time, taking on the hosts Saldanah Bay, and it promises to be a high-scoring and high-flying encounter between these two sides who love to dot the ball down over the try line. Some big boys in the ranks as well of Groot Brakrivier there as well, who we will be seeing in the final of this competition, because they won this match by 27 points to 22, an absolutely definitive victory that sent the crowd into rapture at the end of this one. So much passion from both of these sides, and indeed all of the sides that have attended the Saldanah Bay Super 8 Easter tournament. Expansive dives, great celebrations in the stands. It's what it's all about in Saldanah Bay at this Easter tournament that started back in 2019 and has been going from power to power since.
Oh, it's Easter Monday and we've got club rugby here in Saldanah for the Super 8 competition, 5th edition of this competition. The results thus far of Helldrift were far too strong for Barberton early morning, and then we just had an epic plate final between Gardens all the way from Uitenhage in the Eastern Cape. They triumphed over the Raiders from Johannesburg. And next up we've got this game now, but for the 3rd and 4th position. I tell you, the crowd is starting to fill up, the stadium's filling up, the band is playing. There's an incredible atmosphere that's starting to start here in the Saldanah. We're getting to the business end of the competition. Next up, we've got Saldanah, the Baai Boys, against Helderberg, the Strandlopers, in this 3rd and 4th club playoff.
The good people of Saldanah are being serenaded here on the final day's play of the Saldanah Super 8 Easter Festival, and the second last match, the penultimate one indeed, sees Helderberg taking on Saldanah Bay Rugby Football Club, the host side. What a day we've had so far, the sun baking down once more, as it always does at this festival. The conditions providing the perfect platform for running rugby, which is what each and every one of these sides love. And Helderberg are making their way onto the field now, led out by their captain, the oldest player in the team today, surprisingly, at just 31 years of age, Conway Pretorius. And here comes the home side, pipped at the post and beaten out of the final. They will play in the 3rd, 4th playoff right now on their home ground. in front of their home fans, led out by Monray Jacobs, the police officer, taking charge in the number 9. Alongside me in commentary today is none other than Mtunzi Fudge Mabeta. How have you enjoyed the tournament so far? What are you expecting in the third, fourth playoff here between Helderberg and Saldanah?
Thank you, Paul Stubbs. Yeah, we take a look at a few of those team sheets now. Helderberg have been incredible with their set piece, lineouts and scrums, top notch for them. Cam Miller's been important. He comes in for Leach. Look out for Conway Pretorius, the captain. He's absolutely incredible. Erald Lamprecht, one of the youngsters who've really shone, and fullback Lucas can strike from anywhere. Looking at the Saldanah